everyone, Cheeky here with another Transformers review, and today I will be reviewing the Transformers Legacy Evolution Armada Universe Hotshot. And there he is in the packaging. I have heard good things, bad things about this figure. QR code if you want to scan it to see his specs. Yeah, looks really cool. Evo Fusion, that does happen like his minicon would do. Yeah, very reminiscent of Armada. It is a little bit sleeker than the original toy. I do not have the original toy. I feel like he's a little more cartoon accurate than the original toy. Not as chunky, but the main gripe that people have is the leg gaps. But once I get them out and in hand, well, maybe I'll have different thoughts on that. Anyway, let's get this guy opened up. So here we have Hotshot out of his packaging, and he is pretty cool. It turns out the visor is very loose on mine as well. Does not like to stay up very well. Okay, maybe it's not as bad as, well, okay, it is kind of bad, but not super bad. But yeah, could be fixed. Bob probably might see about trying to figure out what I can do to fix it. But anyway, yes, he is really cool, even with the gap problems in his legs. But yeah, he is awesome. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Before I continue rambling, let's take a closer look. And yeah, just dropped. Drop. I guess first off, take a look at his weapon. Yes, it's his engine. It's the top of the engine. That is his weapon. So it's cool, I guess. It's something that you can use. I guess why, since it keeps dropping down, we'll show the reason why he needs a visor, because that's why he uses to aim his giant shoulder rocket launcher, which Jolt would usually activate, but since there's no minicon with him, we cannot do that. But yeah, pretty cool. It is a nice visor done in translucent blue with metallic gray on the parts that are not supposed to be stuff that he sees through. And yeah, rotate that, put it back. This would have been spring-loaded on the original. His face is awesome. Definitely not a cocky grin or anything like that, but it's also not. It's a very neutral face, so it doesn't look horrible. But blue eyes, white creamish color for his face, and a little bit of details right there. And then the what always kind of remind me of a jumpsuit look with all the red, and then the silver buckle looking stuff harness, which is pretty cool. Dark metallic gray plastic for his forearms. It feels like his forearms are a little bit big. Quite long and then really short upper arm, but whatever. It doesn't look too bad. Nothing at the wrists, unfortunately, but it doesn't look, since there's a lot more color than it's not like Bumblebee, it does feel a little sturdier somehow. I don't know why. For whatever reason, yellow plastic, when it's all yellow plastic, it just feels very flimsy to me. Anyway, but yeah, lots of primary colors on this guy, it feels like. Or bright colors anyway. Red and yellow. It looks like there's supposed to be an Alba emblem there, possibly. I don't know. They didn't put one there, but you can put one there if you have one that fits there just right. And then a big old Autobot emblem right there. Lots of yellow. But yeah, this is, as you can tell, since this is blue painted yellow and black, and since it shines through just a little bit, it gives it a bit of a greenish tint, because you know, blue plus yellow equals green. So that's a little bit of a problem, but it's not the end of the world. But yeah, I love this guy so far. Overall, fairly stiff, at least for now. The head is on a mushroom, so it only rotates, and it can do a full 360, and that is really loose. Not the loosest, but it is, okay, yeah, pretty loose. And then arms can go out that far, forward that far. It could do a full 360 probably if it wasn't for this stuff getting in the way, but it's not too bad. That far bicep rotation, about 90-degree bend at the elbow, nothing at the wrist. Hip rotation, but also for transformation. And then thigh rotation, he can do the full splits, kick forward that far, and oh, break his knee, that's really painful looking, and go back about that far, and depending on how you have these panels arranged, you can get a little over 90-degree bend at the knee, but about. But for as far as he's supposed to be transformed, these are supposed to be back, not on the side. But if you do have him on the side, it definitely makes it, well, easier to do the knee, but then it just makes his legs really look really bad and opened up. But yeah, they still has a problem with the gaps, but it is understandable the way he transforms, so I don't hold it against him too much. Okay. And since I haven't gotten around, since I don't have Starscream yet, unfortunately, I do not have the Star Saber to give to him to hold. I've heard that it looks a lot better in him because it's more scaled for a deluxe figure rather than Voyager, so it looks kind of small for Starscream, but better for him. Although, since I do have the Star Saber minicons, unfortunately, I brought them back home on my last trip, so I don't have them here, so I cannot make them hold the minicons! Minicons. Yeah, I love minicons, but unfortunately, I don't have any of them here. So, that's about it for articulation, all that. So let's get this guy transformed, shall we? Okay, so I guess we can go ahead and untab that. Untab that. Open up his chest, flip his head in, close up his chest, rotate his arms in where that's facing out. I suppose go ahead and rotate at the waist. So yeah. Assuming I didn't forget anything. Rotate up and swivel around. You're also going to want to flip these panels out, although in the box they were already flipped out, so I didn't notice that was even a thing until, well, I looked at the instructions. Yes, I did attempt to transform him without the instructions. It went fairly smoothly. And, yeah, but make sure that ankle tiltage is snapped into place, because there are a little, pretty much like a little snap, little peg that clips into, or pegs into, yeah, to hold it in place. And then undo that. Just collapse around. As you can see, there is not much space left in his legs in vehicle mode, so it's not very practical, at least based on this toy design, for them to not have the big old gap in robot mode. I mean, I'm sure a third-party company, if they were to do their own Armada, a full Armada toy line, I'm sure they would figure out a way to do it to where it looks really good in both modes. But this is mainline, so of course it's not going to, well, be as complicated. Yeah, get that lined up. Get these pressed down. And there's a gap where you put a minicon, and then flip these panels in, and flip the panel in. There we are. And here we have Hotshot in his car mode. Well, almost. And put his gun on, and there's the top of the engine. And yeah, here we have him in his car mode, and he looks really cool. Except for the paint color, but Bumblebee's had this issue. Any yellow transformer with clear plastic that's paint, especially if it's blue clear plastic, has this problem. It's an off shade of yellow, but whatever, I can live with it, at least for now. And besides, it's probably keeping robot most of the time. It's may as well, that's not a huge issue, but yeah, it's a pretty clean car mode. I will admit the way the snaps are on, I guess that says just to be more of the barrel of the gun, but yeah, it's the way it snaps on. It does look a little bit weird. The front not as bad, but they are still the snap-on tires rather than pegged on, and he rolls okay enough. So yeah, that's about it. I definitely love to see them do more characters, such as Demolisher, Cyclonus, maybe Blur, and a few others. I think that would be really cool to see done in as accurate to Armada, because I mean I know they were doing some things with Legacy that weren't quite weren't quite accurate to the shows that they're from, but I hope that they'll try to be faithful as much as possible to Armada figures. I did hear that there's supposed to be an Armada Megatron coming out at some point, and I am definitely enthused about that, but I'm also curious if they'll be doing an Armada Optimus Prime in the future as well. Although I do have Naval Commander, but he is one of the earlier versions, so he's having problems. Anyway, but if I can get a mainline that looks really cool and all that, I'll stick with that. Anyway, I've been droning on long enough for this end, so if you like this review of Transformers Legacy Evolution Hotshot and you'd like to see more, please click that like and subscribe button to see more. And until next time, have a good one, everyone.